coming here today. MAC opener this week against Miami, and obviously our 118th homecoming. It's a lot of them. Coach, talk about the team as we get ready to start conference play.
Yeah, no, obviously non-conference schedule is over. Had a tough non-conference. I think our team is battle-tested. Learned a lot about ourselves. Obviously, we have to continue to get better in all three phases. We're working on that, like we are mentally. Guys are working to get better, staying in the fight. Had a tremendous, four-quarter battle last week. We obviously know we need to play better offensively, but our defense played their heart out. Special teams played really, really well. Just didn't do enough to win the game. So we know as a coaching staff and as a team, we have to get better because we got a Miami team that's coming off a big win last week. Extremely well coached, playing for the Mallory Cup, which obviously is a big deal for both programs. First MAC opponent. We understand, everything is geared toward, trying to play your best football when the MAC opponents come up. Homecoming, a lot of alumni coming back to town and a lot of former players. So, we certainly want to go out there and play our best football. So we had a good practice this morning. Guys were into it. Certainly excited about, we can continue to get better as the week goes along and play well on Saturday.
Coach, obviously the record to start the season, great, like 1-3 starts, but now that you're starting MAC play, does it feel like you get to kind of reset a little bit, now you're 0-0 in conference?
Yeah, I think, obviously, you try to get your team as good as they can be getting into conference play. Obviously, we still have some things we have to clean up in all three phases, but the mentality is right, the approach is right, the practice habits are right, the work ethic is right, and I think with those things, that's going to allow us to continue to get better as the season goes along. And I'm excited about this week. I think we have a chance to play our best game to date, and I'm excited about that.
And you played this Miami team less than a season ago in Oxford. Like, how different are these two teams between then and now, or are they mostly similar?
Well, I think, both teams experienced a lot of, transition as far as the roster is concerned. I know we had a lot of transition. I think they had a lot of transition as well. And that's something that, we have to deal with in this new era of college football. And so, trying to maintain the culture and build your team up and get them ready to play and get them coached up to, buy into the fundamentals and techniques and what's needed to win in a short amount of time is what I think both teams are doing. And, we sit here with the same record. They played a tough schedule just like we did. And now we get an opportunity to, to play and see who can come out on top on Saturday. And so I feel like we are on the cusp of doing some good things. We just need to, find a spark, and then hopefully that will ignite us.
What have you seen working for Quinn Erweiler so far this year? I mean, he's one of the leading tacklers in the nation, a good part of this good defense. What have you seen kind of working for him, especially considering the path he took, to get here?
Yeah, I think Quinn is such an interesting story. Anytime we take a transfer, I always have them get up in front of the team and tell the team what can we expect from them. And when Quinn got up, he said, you can expect me to be one of the hardest working guys and one of the most physical players on this football team. And that's what he's been since the day he's got here. And, his story and his journey has just been, phenomenal. And I think, number one, I think Coach Connolly has done a phenomenal job with our linebacking group, coaching those guys up, the details of how those guys are playing. I think our linebackers are vastly improved with their ability to play downhill. I think our D-line is really helping those guys. If I was Quinn, I would be taking out my D-line out to lunch once a week because those guys are keeping him clean. He has the ability to play downhill and make tackles in the backfield. So I'm just proud of Quinn and his growth and development, his leadership, and I'm glad he's playing his best football as a senior.
Quarterback, obviously, Taquan Finn, you know him from his days at Toledo. Just how are you kind of diagnosing his biggest threat to this defense?
Yeah, Finn is obviously a dynamic football player. He has the ability to beat you with his arm and his legs. They do a great job building the offense around him. They got speed receivers that, if they catch you in single high, they're going to take shots. If they catch you in blitz, they're going to throw screens. If they catch you in too high, they're going to run the ball. And Finn is a guy that if you don't have great lane integrity rushing the quarterback, he's going to extend plays with his legs and look to extend the play and throw the ball down the field, or look to extend the play and run the ball for a first down. So we know he's very dynamic. We fully expect him to play. And if he does play, then, we'll be prepared for him. But the backup quarterback came in last week and did a great job as well. So they have two very capable quarterbacks that can play. I would expect them both to play against us, and we have to have a game plan for both of them.
What's your assessment of the offense through the first 4 weeks? What did you see? What changes, if any, are being made going into this game?
Yeah, our offense is not good enough, and we need to get better.
Coach, you had mentioned already that you think they're just looking for a spark to get things going. Could it be just as easy as, the last couple of games, the first drive, you get the ball, you get a field goal. If you turn those into touchdowns, could it be just like a basketball player, they see the ball go through the hoop once in a while, that maybe just getting in the end zone once?
Yeah, I think, it's so interesting, right, how offensive football is played. We drop a ball on second down. Now we're in 3rd and 12, and we get 8. You catch the ball. You in 3rd and 7, and you get that same 8 yards. You get a first down. You extend the drive. We had a run play where if we block the corner cat, it's probably a 90-yard touchdown. And so we are just inches away from, making great plays. And so we have to be able to strain a little bit more. We have to be able to pitch and catch a little bit better. And then, when we do have an opportunity to make big plays in the passing game, either we got to hold the ball a little bit longer, or we got to hold up in protection a little bit longer and give our receivers a chance to work down the field. So, every play we just, a guy off here or there from us being able to execute from an offensive standpoint.
And Coach, during practice this week, were there any specific points of this offense you felt really need to be addressed, or was it just general stuff with the offense?
You said what?
Were there any specific areas of this offense you felt needed to be specifically addressed this week, or was it all just general improvements as far as this
No,
practice?
I think, we had to look at the tape. The hardest part is, we had a really good week of practice last week, and then we didn't perform the way we practiced. So, for me as a coach, I have to look at myself and, what's not correlating. And so you try to self-reflect. And so what we did today was, we did more good-on-good work. In the NFL, you have good-on-good work because you have less players. So we have a really good defense. So we went 25 minutes of good-on-good today and try to get, really quality work versus a really good defense to try to simulate, what we're going to see on Saturday. We're going to play a really good defense in Miami of Ohio. That's very, very sound. But we have to get the speed of the game on Tuesday and Wednesday, and that's what we're trying to get done to see if that helps correlate, because sometimes the scout team don't quite give you the speed of the game that you need. And so we're trying to enhance and give more looks from a very good defense and see if that will help, provide a spark.
Coach, it feels like the last couple of meetings against Miami, they're very close, but it feels like their defense is cut a little bit like NIU, very physical and very much at the point of attack. Does that help with playing San Diego State last week, a defense that's kind of in that same mold to get ready for a team like Miami?
I think, the difference with Miami, in my opinion, is, they're really good on special teams as well. So, if you can overcome their defense and then you relax on special teams, they can make a kickoff return for a touchdown. They can make a punt return for a touchdown, or they can block a punt. And so you have to, be at the top of your game in all three phases. And you cannot take a play off with an opponent like this because they're going to continue to attack. They're going to continue to play sound football in all three phases. And really, they want to play to make you make a mistake. And so, we can't turn the ball over on offense. We have to be very sound and smart on special teams. And then we can't give up explosive plays on defense. So this is going to take a team effort for us to play the way that we need to play.
And Coach, going into this game, is there a chance we'll see more of a two-quarterback system in play for you guys, or are you going to do you plan to ride with Josh Holtz the whole way there?
You won't see a two-quarterback system.
Anything else?
Is Holst the starter this week?
I mean, we're still practicing, so we're working throughout the week.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Yep.
Student athletes this week, we have junior wide receiver Diari Rogers and redshirt senior safety Muhammad Jameh. Questions for our student athletes?
Jerry, I'll start with you. So obviously, offensive output on Saturday probably wasn't what you guys were hoping for. Just what were the improvements you guys have honed in on this week?
Improvement-wise, we're just trying to execute the game plan. We trust in Coach Q and we trust in Coach Hammock, so we're just going out there with an open mind, trying to dial in the plays and, execute the game plan on Saturday.
And then Muhammad, you look at this, this Miami team. Obviously, this quarterback, this team's faced before DeQuan Finn, and just obviously this offense has been tough to face in seasons past. Just what's your assessment of how this defense needs to act against this team?
First off, they like to run a lot of 10 personnel. So 10 personnel, if you know football, it's kind of like a passing down, kind of like passing team. So that's more their strength. They're kind of like simple and kind of vanilla in the run game, inside zone, outside zone, counter. So I think, just like the back end expect to do every week, just make plays on the ball, limit the quarterback, whoever it, is playing, just contain, limit the big plays, and, just do what we do.
And obviously, Muhammad, this defense has come off a performance where you held the opponent to 6 points. What are some elements from what worked in that game that you can take against Miami?
Obviously, just getting turnovers, as a, just a DB group, me and Jasper coming up with plays, interceptions, Quentin, Field just flying around, making tackles, just playing sound football, just communicating, just being physical, tackling, just taking the ball away when the opportunity comes. That's all that matters about just making an opportunity, making the most of it.
And did you already look at this Miami defense? What's your assessment there? And where are some holes that NIU can poke there on Saturday?
You know, Miami, Ohio's defense, they're going to come out and, you know, play their cover 1, cover 3 stuff, you know, so we just got to be able to, you know, execute the game plan once again. Like, we got to be able to run the ball. Like, that's always a big thing. We have to be able to run the ball, and we need to be able to pitch and catch this week. Like, that's a big thing, because if they're going to come out and cover 1, we need to be able to pitch and catch the ball on Saturday.
Group as for what you've seen in the quarterbacks, just what kind of is the reaction after the performance Saturday, and just kind of how have you guys just kind of in the mindset and bouncing back, you know, not just obviously from that game, but from kind of the way the season's gone so far?
Yeah, the mindset doesn't change. You know, the games that we lost, yeah, we're 1-3 right now, but the games we lost mean nothing for our future goals. You know, we still want to win the MAC championship. I would say me and the wide receivers, you know, we just, you know, built the quarterback position up, you know, after the game, like, because we knew it would come with a lot of stuff saying that our, you know, quarterbacks aren't performing well, stuff like that. But us being on the same team as him, we can't say that, but so we built him up and stuff like that.
Is that just kind of the trick of being on offense, DRE, that everything can get put on those guys, but if the line doesn't block, if you run a wrong route, somehow it all gets put on, even though it's a whole team?
Yeah, I know the quarterback position can definitely be stressful just because, you know, you can do your job every play, but if, you know, everybody else doesn't do theirs, it reflects back on you because you're the captain of the boat, essentially. You know, you make it go. So they, you know, look at you like it's your fault and stuff like that, when in reality a lot of people nowadays don't really know the ins and outs of football, and they try to just blame the quarterback. So we just try to keep, you know, building the quarterback up every day and every week.
DRE, what's been working for you as one of NIU's leading receivers?
Really just watching film and stuff, you know, day in, day out, having a good relationship with all of the quarterbacks. You know, it doesn't matter, you know, who the quarterback is in the scenario. I have a real good bond with every single one of them, and just, you know, trusting coach's game plan and running my route, you know, full speed.
And then this would be for both of you. Obviously, you know, you didn't get the result you wanted at home this past week. I feel like this is a chance to rebound, especially, you know, it's homecoming and a trophy game for this team. So whoever wants to go first.
Yeah, I agree. You know, being here since 2021, we never won the Mallory Cup, so that's definitely a big thing. You know, just not winning any championship, like cup games, you know, trophy games from, you know, just Ball State and Miami, Ohio. That's kind of like a, you know, big essence this week. You know, just taking the Mallory Cup and, you know, like what Hammock said, being the first team to win it back and keep it, you know, forever. You know, for homecoming, it's a great time of year, but, you know, just got to stay focused, you know, all the you know, separate antics that don't particulate with football. You know, just staying focused, you know, just showing the MAC what type of defense, what type of offense that we have to show.
Yeah, you know, like Mo said, you know, it's a big emphasis to win the Mallory Cup, you know, so we could be the first team to get it and the last team to have it. That's the real big emphasis this week. I'm hoping, you know, we come out here and perform so good that it catapults our offense, you know, to explode from here on out. So that's the game, you know, like that's what we've been talking about all week and stuff like that. So just going out here and executing and getting that Mallory Cup back.
Mohammed, it feels like with this the defense the last couple of years, it's always been, you're not giving up a lot of yards, especially through the air, getting to the quarterback. But the turnover thing has always been something that's kind of been not as prevalent. Now you guys have, I think, 4 turnovers in the first 4 games. What's been going right for you guys there to take the ball back, I guess is what Coach Harley would say?
Yeah, we definitely we emphasize takebacks, as what Coach Harley calls it. You know, just working together that the safety coaches, the DB coaches, such as Coach Ross, Coach Bland, you know, Coach Torres, and Coach Harley, you know, we just emphasize taking the ball back through any way, through the air, you know, through the ground, punching it out. So, you know, just being, you know, just being around the ball, you know, just being attractive to the ball, just making plays. You know, obviously the safety group, we have 3 out of the 4 turnovers. You know, I have me having 2. You just got to keep improving on that, you know. I'll be more than greatly appreciative to have, you know, a lot of picks on the season. So, yeah, I just don't mind, you know, making plays out there. It's kind of like, just kind of my knack, you know. Just want to be like a playmaker, you know, take the ball away, just be, you know, a menace around the ball.
Anything else, guys? No? Thank you for coming.
Appreciate you. You have a good one.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you, guys.